Okay, this is a video to demonstrate how I have my Stream Deck app set up to work with OBS and Clisp. Clisp is currently an app that's in beta right now. I'm one of the testers, and after talking with the dev, he thought that it would take a little while longer to get Stream Deck working with the app, but turns out it's not that hard. So I'm going to show how I have it set up. So what is Clisp? Clisp is an app that allows you to save replays and edit them all inside the app. So it uses the virtual camera to take your scene or source that you have OBS set to, and once you have the replay buffer running, it will run alongside that and take that replay, and you can either save it locally on your computer, or you can use the app's editing feature to where right now we only have the ability to do simple timeline clipping to where you can shorten clips and just pick out the right segments you want and then directly export that to either YouTube or TikTok. I'm sure in the future they'll add things like Instagram or maybe Facebook. And also, they're planning to add the ability to add music, text, and even import files, so you won't have to go to things like DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut, or whatever else you might be using, CapCut. So, yeah. One thing that is worth mentioning to the dev team is for right now, we aren't able to export the edited clip and save that locally. You can export it to different sites, but you can't save the edited clip locally. You can save the full clip, right? Pretty simple, but you can't edit a clip and save that locally. We only have the option to export it. So I'm going to make that suggestion to the dev team. So on my tablet here, which is a 10-year-old repurposed tablet that I'm setting up for streaming and other stuff, I have a custom ROM on it, a flashed Lineage OS to it, but Stream Deck and this whole process would pretty much work on anything. So go ahead and launch the app. I have this whole process in a folder, but I press this button, it should launch Discord or OBS. I have it set up to start the replay buffer, which Clisp needs, and open up Clisp. And once Clisp is open, it automatically starts the virtual camera on OBS. I couldn't figure out how to do that manually, but the app actually does that by itself. If you were more of a tech-savvy person, you could probably do some coding to have more of this stuff done, but it's actually pretty easy to just automate a different way, and I'll show you how to do that. So inside the Stream Deck actual app, I have a folder set up to where I have this multi-action button. So to set that up, you go, where do you go? Multi-action, or you can just right click and create multi-action, which that's the way I do it, but it would have been this one, right? So delete these. This is that multi-action button. This is how it looks when you bring it up. I have a button to open application, which you can find as a default system plugin for Stream Deck. So open application, that brings up this screen where you can title it, or you can just search for the app in the drop down menu, and then it will change the name of it. Long press, I'm not quite sure it does anything, or I just haven't figured that out, where you can quickly close the apps and stuff. But I know bring it to the front if already running does work. So you can set that button up to once it's activated, it'll launch the app and bring it to the front of your screen. But for now, not needed. So we have a button to launch OBS. I have a 5-second delay set up, which you can find at the top of the plugin list. Drag in a delay. You can title it, and it's in milliseconds. 1 second is 1,000 milliseconds. So that works. So open OBS, 5-second delay. I have a custom plugin that you can find on the Elgato store that works directly with OBS. Has a bunch of buttons that are fully integrated. You have to really, I don't even think there are any options. They just work off of their description. So yeah, this button, turn my brightness down. I'll also be saving a replay of me doing all this live, so maybe I won't even use my phone footage because I'm not the best cameraman just yet. But so yeah, open OBS, 5-second delay, start the replay buffer, then it waits 5 more seconds and then launches Clisp. You can do all of this with less delay if you want to. I have a slightly older computer, so I gave it a little bit of time to do all this instead of trying to force it all at once, but that's pretty much it. Yeah. Okay, so one caveat I forgot to mention is for the process that I have set up and explained, you need the Clisp app to be last on the recording settings page, because when it opens up in that page, it'll automatically press the button inside of OBS to start the virtual camera. So if I press my multi-action button, it'll launch OBS. It will, after the 5 seconds, start the replay buffer, and another 5 seconds start the Clisp app. The Clisp app, the last time I had it running, wasn't on the recording settings page, so it didn't start the virtual camera. But as soon as you go to this page, it pressed the button to start virtual camera, which Clisp needs to pick up the source from OBS. So now I'll close out everything, stop the buffer and the virtual camera, and then I'll press the button again to do the whole process again. And since Clisp was last on the recordings settings page, after a little bit of time passed, it automatically started the virtual camera button. One suggestion is I'm going to make to the dev is to make it so where as soon as you open the Clisp app, it, no matter what page you're on, it should start the virtual camera, because that would make the whole process a lot smoother and would just be better. So this is part of the process where I said that if you were a capable coder, then I'm sure you could send command codes and do different things like that. And you can also set up keybinds and buttons and stuff to work on a Stream Deck to where it would send those codes, but I'm not doing that much right now. So now that all that's been explained, I'll turn off all these buffers, close all the apps. So as you can see, turn the brightness down, I don't have OBS running, Clisp is not running, but I do have the Stream Deck app running on my tablet. So I click the multi-action button, it gives you a little progress wheel, opened up OBS, it just started the buffer. I don't know, I'm sorry, my auto brightness it's working overtime and I don't know how to turn that off. But as you can see, the Clisp app ran and also started the virtual camera. So now I have another folder with some basic recording functions, so I can start a recording in OBS directly, pause the recording. This button I had set up to automatically toggle the replay buffer, and then I have a custom button to just execute a shortcut. So this is saving the clip in Clisp, and this one saves the replay in OBS specifically. So now that it's all set up, you can see I have a few. I can do this as many times as I want to. I'll save another. I have my recording set at 10 minutes. Probably a little bit of overkill, but you never know what happens. So yeah, it works perfectly. One more thing I didn't mention is, in case anybody's wondering, you can have a lot more than just 6 buttons on the Stream Deck app. There's a little gear icon at the bottom of the screen. Press that, and you can change the layout up to an 8x8, which would be 64 buttons, which would look like this. I can't use them just yet because I haven't paid the $25 a year. Well worth it. I just haven't done it yet. You can also do things like change the faceplate, which is just this kind of graphic, and it has some custom ones that come with Stream Deck, and then you can also add your own, which would be very useful. Also, you can have a ton of different pages. I've only set up 5, but I don't even know if there is a limit. But you can have that plus different profiles. The Stream Deck app is pretty sick. I actually went through the whole process of recording this video, even uploaded it, and then I found out I was wrong about something I said. I was under the impression that in order for the virtual camera to be started automatically, the Clisp app needed to be on the recorder settings page. And even though it would be nice to have Clisp automatically start the virtual recorder in OBS, no matter what page Clisp is on, you can actually have a button start the virtual camera by itself. So in OBS, start that. You go to settings, hotkeys, and I have a custom keybind to where when I press Control and numpad 5, it starts the virtual camera. And I can do that here, and I'm manually doing that. I didn't set a stop one because I didn't do that just yet. But once you have that set up, then I set up a button inside of Stream Deck, which was hotkey, and it has a bunch of preset actions you can do, or you can assign it to a hotkey. So what I did is I got this button, set it to Control and numpad 5, and in the multi-action kind of order list, it goes, start OBS, wait 5 seconds, enable the replay buffer, wait 5 seconds, start Clisp, wait 2 seconds, hit the hotkey. So what that looks like, normally I closed those 2 apps. So what that looks like normally is when I press the button on the Stream Deck, loads OBS, wait a couple seconds, then it's going to load Clisp, and even though Clisp isn't on the recording settings, it enabled the virtual camera. Eventually I'll go in and set buttons to stop all those and to close all the apps, but I just haven't done that yet. I know this is a long video, but if you stuck through it, then thank you. Be sure to check the description. You can get the links for all these things. They're all free, except Stream Deck. If you want to use more buttons on one screen, you got to pay a little bit of money. But for the most part, it's all free, super easy to set up, really worth it. Thanks.